Hi, Katie.
Hello.
Good to see you. Welcome to the first episode of Breega Jenga UK. The rules of the game are pretty simple. One tower, bunch of blocks.
Yep.
You played this at Christmas, so you have an unfair advantage already. So we each take a block out. Depending on the color of the block, we then ask each other a corresponding question from that color. The person that loses, the other person gets to ask them a bonus question. Usually a really tough one.
Okay.
So before we get started, can you please introduce yourself and share with us the big news?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Katie, and I am the co-founder of BioOrbit, and we're building a pharmaceuticals factory in space. And the big news is that we've just closed Europe's largest space seed round with Breega. And I'm so excited about it. We've got some amazing milestones coming on board, opening up in the US. This is really just going to fuel us so much for the next few years. And I'm absolutely thrilled about it all, and thrilled to announce it finally. So very excited about the next steps for BioOrbit.
Yeah, we're really excited too. And what a good way to start the round,
Right?
With the game of Jenga, right? We'll do this every couple of months, right? It'll be our Monday morning meetings, right? All right, let's get started. My go. Here we go.
Believe in you.
Thank you very much. There we go. All right, industry question.
Industry.
Why is now the right time to enter the market?
Okay, so the space industry, as we've seen, is just like booming completely. I think that SpaceX changed the game in terms of getting the launch costs down, which meant that we can put like larger masses in space. And I think like talk about data centers in space recently has like really shown the potential of space for applications on Earth. And like, but all of this infrastructure is going in. We're going to have re-entry vehicles. We're going to be having commercial space stations. But then it's like, what are they being used for? What are those applications? And that's where BioOrbit sits, is one of those companies that utilizes the infrastructure that's going in. So now's the time to enter the market because you don't have to do end-to-end yourself. You don't have to build the rockets yourself. You don't have to do rocket, satellite, payload, everything. Different parts of that ecosystem are being taken care of by different companies. So now people can like, other startups can really focus on what is my product, how am I going to make this the best product without thinking about the end-to-end chain. And so I think now is the time because there are so many opportunities, particularly for using space for Earth, which is something that hasn't been explored as much as there's going to be so much money coming in space for Earth. And there's the saying that, you know, the space economy is going to be worth 1.4 trillion. I think that's a vast underestimation. If SpaceX is coming in and is going to be IPOing above $1 trillion, then how can the rest of the economy be 1.4? I suspect that in 10 years, we're going to have multiple above $1 trillion companies in the space industry, which will now be at the early stage. So now's the time to back your winners.
Got it. Super clear. All yours.
Not mine.
All
okay.
yours. It's like wobbling
It's really difficult.
as we're.
Okay, let's go with this one. Or maybe not.
I might win the game pretty quickly.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like.
Here we go. The single best investment advice you've received. What is it?
So, it actually comes from this my mentor actually. He set up one of the first venture capital firms in China in like 1981 with his wife. And so when I was like, 22, I went to speak to him, and I've been keeping in touch over the years. And he said, if you're in the VC game, he says, at one point you're going to have to risk it all. And I said, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean risk it all? I mean, we take, risks, like sometimes they're, small risk, big risk, but you never feel like you risk it all. And he said, at one point, there's going to be a company, and your whole reputation, the size of the round, you're going to have to go for it. And you're going to feel like if this doesn't work, then you're going to be, like, things are going to be tough for you. And he said that only when you're in that zone can you really, really make pretty much like the investment that could, change your career, your life, or everything. So it's that feeling. He's like, chase that feeling, which is terrifying because I don't want to like live like that too much. But he said at one point, like, that moment's gonna come, and so I find that to be it's always front of mind, like in my day to day.
I love that. And how does that affect the relationship with the founder? Because if you're then trusting them, it's like, right, I'm taking this risk on you to achieve this.
Yeah.
Does that then strain that relationship?
I don't think it strains it. I think, in a way we're involved in the companies we invest in. At the same time, the founder makes the day-to-day decisions. The founder's working 12 hours a day. So we have like a view of what the company's doing and we try to help. But so there's so much trust going in the founders. But that's why we like pick, in a way, the founders that we can actually deeply trust and they're going to give it all. So, that doesn't translate to, let's say, negative pressure. It's more like, okay, I'm backing this person. And it's a big risk and it might not work. But there you go. Like, you have to, it's actually the opposite. It's like you trust the person even more. But yeah, you're nervous. You do have the sleepless nights where you're like, oh my God, what's happening? But that's how it is.
Yeah, and you've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, you have to go for it.
You do.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's really difficult.
It's actually pretty. This is hard. This is hard. It's already
the Leaning Tower of Pisa already. We're only a few blocks in.
Okay, I'm using two hands.
That's okay.
Oh.
Woof.
This might be like the most stressful part of my weeks and a half. Okay. Oh, WTF. WTF.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which one this is. I haven't. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most emotional experience of launching a rocket to space?
Oh. So, in the summer this year, we're going to be launching our first, BioOrbit's going to be launching its first experiment to space. So we're all going to Florida to watch it, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So I've seen, like, we launched an experiment last year, but I wasn't there in person. And the feeling of watching that rocket fly with your experiment that you've designed, you've built, you've gone through all of that troubleshooting to get right. And really, at that point, you have to let go of control, and it's just on the rocket, and you're watching it go up. And it's a feeling of deep pride, because you're like, yes, we've done it, we've got it to this point, and now you're passing it on to the next player, i.e. the rocket. But there is also a sense of, well, what if something happens? But I think the emotional side, at that point, you're not really thinking about the risks. It's just like, we did it.
Yeah.
As a team, we've got to this point, and now look at it, launched to space.
Yeah.
And so, I'm really excited for this summer when we will all be there in person and watch it. I think it will be a very emotional day. I think.
And how fast do you think your heart beats when there's like the countdown to launch?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You don't want to be wearing like a wearable at that time. It's just
exactly. Yeah. That would be good to monitor, actually. A few of us are wearing them, so we'll have to see our heart rate go up. But I think it's, just like super exciting. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not just to watch a rocket launch, but it's like you've built something that's there, that's going to be leaving the planet.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's wild.
So I'm, very excited about that.
That's
but I think
exciting.
Deep pride.
And the whole team's going?
Whole team's going.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Okay. Can I come?
You can come.
All right, great.
Come and watch it launch.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay, right. Are you ready?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
What are your biggest pet peeves when watching founders pitch?
Pet peeves. Like the things I like the least when
they're just like, it really annoys you and just gives you the ick.
Yeah. It's when they try to sell something, they have a product and they want to sell it to everyone. And they're like, no, we have this product, but we could sell it to these guys, to these guys, to these guys, to these guys, and we're going to be in this middle of this like wider ecosystem. And I'm just like, wow, okay. I mean, it's so hard to sell one thing to one customer to start out with, right? And just that's like the goal of like the early stages, to really find that customer who has like a huge pain point, right? It could be anything like deep tech software, AI, whatever. But like kind of the scatter approach of like the go-to-market is something when I see it, I'm just like, oh no, it's so, because then when you do diligence on it, like
Yep.
how the hell do you diligence it? Like how do you speak to all these customer groups,
Yep.
right? And maybe they got it right and we get it wrong, right? Maybe they're right, but it's just like so. When I see that, I'm just like, damn, like that's gonna be a tough one.
So does it come across as like they're not clear on exactly what they're doing, rather than like, oh, there's so much opportunity? Is it just?
I think
more practical?
Yeah, you're right. It could be super ambitious, right? But you can do that, but there has to be like a sequencing.
Right.
First, we're going to sell to these guys. I don't know, SMEs in UK. Then we're going to sell to like European-wide like corporates, and then we're going to. So you can have that sequencing, which is fine. But when it's like everything at once, it's just for me. It's just like okay, like that's tough.
You're just like
that's tough.
No.
And the one thing, can I answer it?
Yeah.
So this one thing that's very like. When I see people on like decks that say we have a combined experience of 120 years in an industry by adding people's like time they've spent in each category, I'm just like, that math doesn't really work. You know, some people have had long careers but have done like the same thing for you know a couple years. Some other people have worked for 2 years and have done like the most insane stuff, right? So like you know when I see that in a deck as well, I'm just like. We can't just add people's life, like the amount they've lived, and just say it adds up to like 2 centuries of experience in a space. So those are 2 things. When I see it, I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna be tough.
So it's like actually highlighting what's been achieved. Like, oh, with our team, we've done X, Y, Z.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
yeah, and like
timelines.
We've invested. Like I invested in 2 students that were still in med school. And so obviously if they were to do that math, it'd be like, well, it would add up to like, you know, 6 months or, you know, like,
exactly.
And they're amazing guys.
Yeah.
And they're just so resilient, so good. So those are like 2 things where I'm just like, whoa, yeah, that's a bit of a, that's gonna be tough.
I see that.
All right.
Yeah.
This is gonna fall. Could you help me? Like,
What should I do?
I don't know. Something's falling.
Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God, it feels like it's leaning my way.
It's like the Tower of Pisa edition. You know, it's like starts like that. Okay, red. The why. The infamous question.
Why.
Why?
Just why?
This is a good one as well. I'm not saying because I wrote them, right? I'm not just complimenting. You know, I've written another great question.
Great question.
You walk into a room.
Okay.
And someone is talking about your company. What do you want them to be saying?
Oh, that's a great question. I want them to be saying that they are incredibly impressed by the ambition, but not just that they're like, this team have gone and done it. Like, you know, I might have underestimated them and thought it wasn't possible, but they've proven me wrong. Mm-hmm. That's something that I would love for them to say is like, we as a team, as a company, have achieved on these things. Yes, it's ambitious. Yes, it's bold. Doesn't mean we can't do it, but we've done it. Yeah. And I'd want them to be like impressed by the execution of this bold vision.
And do you think, like, in your experience, you know, you've been like pitching this and building this, and like out of 10 people, how many do you think when you speak to them, they're like, yeah that's not gonna work, or because it's so common, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
everyone is like, yeah, sure, okay.
So
but
common.
Like, how, I don't know, like out of 10.
I'd say, I mean, it's quite high. Yeah. I'd say it's definitely over half.
Yeah.
It really depends on I think when we first say what we're doing, people are like, what do you mean building a factory space?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then when you break it down and you're like, well, this is why, and this is how we're going to get there, and this is the revenue that you can get to and how, then it starts to make a lot more sense. Yeah. But just that first sentence, people can be like, well, that's too ambitious, or what makes you think you can do it? Because
people tend to look backwards. They'll be like, okay, looking at yesterday, like this doesn't really fit into like necessarily like pharma, how they produce drugs these days. Right. And so, but then you get some people that will be like, okay, wait, if the world changes like this in 10 years, actually, like you're right into this new economy. Exactly. But it's hard for people to like make that mental shift, to not look at like the constraints of yesterday, but to look at, what it might be tomorrow. Exactly, the potential of the future. Yeah. And I think, the way I see it is it's just completely inevitable. Yeah. If you just look at like how humanity is using space and all of the tech advancements in the past few years, even within the last 10 years and what that's opened up,
like, this is just inevitable.
Yeah.
So I think exactly as you say, if you're judging it based on the parameters of yesterday, that's going to limit your like imagination, your thinking as to what's possible. Yeah. And the way I see it is like, well, the science says it works. It's not like physics says no.
Yeah.
So we just got to make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I think that, again, I want BioOrbit to represent that and be like, we've made that happen. Yeah. So maybe question yourself a bit. That's what I'd love.
Amazing.
Right. Okay, I think I've got...
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Why did you invest in BioOrbit?
Are you serious? That's one of the questions in there?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, I mean, main reason is you. I mean, you know, as you just said, like all your answers, right? You have this vision that I personally think, and the team thinks it is realistic. There's a limit to how quickly you can improve the formulation of treatments today, and some of the most important treatments, right? And BioOrbit is an incredibly powerful solution for companies to be able to like recreate these formulations and actually deliver much better care to patients, right? So, the ultimate benefit could be like us in 20 years or in 10 years, if unfortunately one of us gets pretty sick, but we need to be able to have some of these, these high concentration, low viscosity formulations that you could inject at home, right? So it all stems from that. Is like, this could make a huge impact. And we saw some positive experiments as well, both like mostly R&D of companies having some compounds out there, some assets up there. Yeah. And so this is starting to really become front of mind on the R&D front, but also pharma is being more and more interested. And so we couldn't think of a better use of space, to put it simply. It's just uses every like advancement or technology and uses that pretty much to its full potential in space. So it's just at the edge. It's like frontier tech, like as we love it, right? And we've invested in a lot of companies like pushing that in like quantum or robotics. And so, yeah, for us, it's like we can't wait for the patients to get the benefits. But at the same time, we think the industry so well, which re-entry vehicle are you going to use? Like how that's going to work? How are you going to control things? From Earth to be able to control the conditions and the manufacturing conditions up there. So you put all this together, like we're in.
Yeah, so exciting! Gonna make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited for the launch that I will.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That I will attend. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a color.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a balance between. I want to ask certain questions, but at the same time, I need to not lose. Because apparently Breega has never lost this, so I could be the first one. I think
actually this yellow looks loose.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm not saying that to.
yeah, you're right. With the yellow with all the missing parts next to it. Yeah. Thanks, Katie. You weren't trying to trick me. All right.
Yeah.
That was my best move so far.
Yeah, it was great.
Inspired by you though. Okay, you have to fill in the blank. This blank will never be a bad investment of time or money.
Without your team, you're nothing, especially doing these bold, ambitious projects you can't do on your own. I think that investing in understanding your senior team's motivations and what motivates them and developing them is never a waste of time and money. Again, for some, it's about money. For others, it's about impact. For others, it's about having ownership on something. But you need to know. And I think to be a good leader, you need to know like what motivates them to speak their language and like, where do they need developing. So something that I have done with my senior team is I've asked them, where do you want to be in 10 years? What's the leader you want to be in 10 years' time? So then if I challenge them, it's like, actually, it's because we're going to mold you into the person you want to be, not the person I want you to be, but they need to want to be that too. So that's why you have to like work it out. You can't read someone's mind.
Yeah.
And that's that way you can then motivate them or provide any like mentorship or anything so that they can become the leader they want to be, and you're aligned with that. But I think that's never a waste of time and money, because then if they grow within your company, then it's like the affinity grows towards it, because it's like, oh, well, under BioOrbit or whatever startup, like I have grown as a human and have become the leader I always wanted to be, and I've had opportunities that I always wanted. And I think that creates a really tight bond.
Yeah.
And again, when you understand what they want, and some people are like, oh, I'd love the opportunity to move abroad.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to move abroad, I'm very happy here, but I want to experience X, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I just think it feels, I find it really fulfilling when you can then provide that opportunity for them. It's like, okay, if someone's like, I really want to speak abroad at a conference, and you're like, okay, go, this is yours. Yeah. And it's like pushing them outside their comfort zone. Yeah. And I think that's it. It's like, and I say to them, I'm like, okay, well, we want to challenge you so that you're always being challenged, but in a way that you want to be challenged, because otherwise it could feel a bit like negative pressure. Yeah. But again, understanding the human, that's what it comes down to.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. Human, so easy. Okay.
Yeah, you clearly played this over Christmas, huh?
We try. My hands are a bit shaky.
Oof.
Okay.
It just wobbled.
Did it?
Yeah, like a little earthquake.
It's upright for now.
That's okay.
Startup band. Oh, this is a great question.
Did you write it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It's a great question. Great question. Is the ecosystem rewarding charisma over competence?
Ooh.
That's a great question.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't think so. I think charisma maybe gets you to like halfway point with investors, but then after that, like the diligence is all about the competence and the experience. And sometimes, it's founders that don't have the experience just because it's like their first company, right? Yeah. But you can still understand like the depth of understanding of their own sector, what we call like founder market fit, right? So it doesn't mean you need 30 years of experience in a space, but so I think charisma sometimes gets you like pretty far in an investment process. Yeah. And the risk is that sometimes you're just like, all right, well, charisma's there, energy's there, so we're going to invest. But it's usually the tables flip like later on in the investment process, where it really becomes around competence. Yeah. Now, the counter to that is that some people are incredibly competent, but don't necessarily have the charisma to like communicate those ideas or it makes total sense because you've never been client facing, right? So, and I think a lot of founders don't get the attention they deserve because they have all the competence, but then maybe they don't have the charisma, or like they're not salesy enough at the beginning to like move across like an investment process to get to a term sheet. So I think it's a bit unfair. And I think different funds have different views as well. Yeah. Some of them are like, actually, we don't want charisma, we want like deeply technical founders. And some other ones are like, we want someone who can sell, the shit out of this company. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter to who, like, he or she could just sell it. So, it's a fine balance, but like competence will ultimately be the substance of the investment in the company.
Because I guess if the charisma can get you so far, but if it's then hype, like shielding competence or achievements or anything, then that could be danger zone. Do you think it's different in the US compared to in Europe in terms of that split?
Like venture capital in the US is a bit, let's say, more like the rules are a little bit looser. There's more capital as well. Yeah. And so you do see like some big investments where companies are a bit more like spread betting based on like, these founders like, can sell this, can have a good talk. And so you do see like a bit more. I do think in Europe we're a little bit more, rightly or wrongly, like a bit more like maybe conservative, where we really want to see like both charisma and competence, and we kind of want to see both of those before investing. I think in the US, like I've seen some mega seed rounds based on, just an idea and just a social media like presence or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And so it's a little bit. There's a little bit more risk taken by the US VCs, who will spread bet a little bit more than European VCs.
So I remember an investor saying to me, this was early days, that focusing on the pitch, because I remember coming in and thinking, okay, well, a pitch is, I didn't then understand why so much time had to be spent absolutely nailing and perfecting the pitch. Because I was like, well, surely an idea will catch attention or not. And was very obviously wrong about that. And I remember them saying to me that they need to see that you can pitch an idea and bring people on board, because they need you to be able to do that at the later stages and be able to convince people to invest 100 million or whatever it might be. And they're saying, all right, we need to see signs of that in the early days when you're raising much less cash to give us the confidence that you will be able to at Series C, D, etc., that you are the person who can sell that idea.
Yeah, totally.
And it reframed it in my head. I was like, right, makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
Totally. Makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah. You see that? It's like I'm improving. Oh my God.
Careful. Don't speak too soon.
Too much coffee.
Exactly, it does that. I'm like, oh no.
It's the croissant.
It must be.
Yes. What personal trade-off has been the hardest to accept?
So, as a founder, takes everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. And the amount of personal sacrifice that's gone into that, not just financially, but in terms of friendships, not having the time investing in that network around me, like my support network, that's been tough. It was particularly tough in the first year so I'd quit my job and was then learning about everything startup, trying to get investment, and had no cash coming in, so I just had my savings. That was a really hard year because every day that I wasn't making progress was a worse. I was just burning. I saw it as burning my own money. So I then spent every waking moment working on BioOrbit to get to the point of first investment. This was 2023 now, into 2024. And it was very lonely because if friends would be like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I was like, I can't. Because also I was like, well, that's also burning money. Yeah. And that then means I can't pay rent for that other month because everything was accounted for. So I would say that the biggest sacrifice has been on that personal side, and sometimes you hate it. Yeah. It's I really just want to go and have a beer in the sun with my friends or something, and then nope, you're in working, writing a grant until 2 a.m. or whatever it might be. Yeah. But I'd say that the all relationships need nurturing, and they need time and they need effort, and so that trade-off has been hard. Yeah. Yeah, but that's just what you do. That's the life you sign up for as a founder.
And so, what? I'm going to continue with the question. Yeah. But what made you, in 2023, start the company, and because you were at the Space Academy, then you had your as a postdoc as well. So just to rewind a little bit, be because it's a decision you made, and it's so hard. But it's a decision you made, and I just want to understand the why.
What was in that? Yeah, I think that, so this was the Christmas of 2022 into 2023, and I was like, right, there's this huge opportunity here, and really deeply believing this is inevitable. We've got a solution that can make this happen. We can by creating these crystals in a space environment, it's going to have such a massive impact on humankind just globally. And I was like, I can't not try. It was just there wasn't even a decision in some senses, because it was just well, obviously I have to do this. How am I going to go about doing this? So I'd say the decision wasn't do I, don't I. Yeah. It was more how. Okay. And so then it was all right, well, I've got enough savings for 12 months, so I'm going all in. And so it was at the April-May time that I then was all right, going all in. Yeah. And and I was by the end of the 12 months, I'll either have a job through I have investment, or if not, I'll have run out of cash and I'm going to have to get a job somewhere else. But by the end of the day, after 12 months, I'll have a job. but that was hard because I think I was 30 at that point. And it was a bit difficult to be like, okay, I'm 30, I'm like have no job, I'm running out of cash, I'm not spending any time with my friends. So it was quite like, oh, I made a mistake here, but you just keep going.
Yeah.
Because it was like, well, this is inevitable, and I believe that like I can do this and build the team to make this happen.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was the decision.
It takes a lot of courage. And also to accept that you might spend 2 years, 3 years on something and have nothing to show for it, right?
Exactly.
So you have to put your ego aside.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way I see it is that the amount of experience and the lessons you learn in that time, you just could not learn in a normal job, inverted commas. And like the person that I would be and will come out as whatever time, and this is how I thought of it back then, is like, because there's so much outside of your control, but I know that I will be so much more skilled and have gone through and experienced so many difficulties that I know I can get through, that whatever happens, like I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, takes
So
a lot. Takes a lot. Amazing. I think it's your go.
Oh, yeah.
It's so wobbly.
I read.
It's making me nervous.
What is the question every founder should ask investors but rarely do?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think, like, it's a hard one. All the founders I catch up with that I have invested in or haven't invested in, but that I just get along with, a lot of them have like top investors on their cap tables. But they typically say the most useful investor is the ones that opens the most doors, right?
Okay.
So it's like the links to industry, links to certain like people or contacts that are just like hard to chase if you do it yourself. And so I do think that founders should ask their VCs like who do you know in this space, like practically, where I could pitch or just have a coffee or a meeting. Because if you don't do that, you're back in like the normal sales cycle, like 12 months, 18 months, and like all that jazz, right? So that I think is the most important. As much as like the support that like at Breega we have like an awesome scaling team, right, that can help, but it's also, the partner pool have been around, like they're entrepreneurs, they know so many people.
Yeah.
But founders rarely ask them like, hey, can you connect me to like XYZ? Because then you'll see some VCs will be highly reactive and will be like, yeah, sure, I'll ping you, I'll intro you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And some other ones will be like, sure, but maybe later on in the investment process or like something where it's like a bit fuzzy, right? So I think that for me is a bit like, how do you like have the connections to then accelerate the sales process?
Yeah.
So you don't have to just do it all like organically.
Yeah. Actually, a question that's not on here, but following on from it, are there any red flags that a founder should look out for?
I've met both amazing investors and like terrible investors that have just been there like purely to like for their own interest, and so you see that a little bit. It's like, is this like individual purely working for like themselves and like financial returns, or do they generally want to like help? Do they understand they're like on a 10-year journey? So I think if you have a sense, and it's a bit of a gut feel, if you get a sense someone is like there just to like get on the cap table and not help, because it's going to be hard, right? Like there's going to be so many ups and downs. Yeah. And that for me is like a red flag. You do have like certain terms as well in term sheets where some investors come into the round with like some pretty like punchy asks on like liquidation preference. And so, and that I'm like, well, it's kind of scary because maybe not for this round, maybe it makes sense, right? But then you're setting a precedent for the next round. So the next investor is going to look at what that previous investor did and be like, well, if he did that, I'm going to do that. Yeah. And so that for me is also like to see if the terms are reasonable. And yeah, maybe some companies have like 4 or 5 term sheets and it's amazing. but if some of the terms are a little bit like off market or tough, even though maybe they make sense somehow, for me it's like it's a dangerous precedent because you've got a 10-year journey ahead of you, right? And these early rounds are like the most important. All right.
To think about.
My go.
Your turn.
Yeah. I want to ask you about space. Voila. Sorry, I'm switching into French when I'm hyper-focused. What makes you the best person to go after this market?
Right. So in our market, we're both space and pharma. So we're using the space environment to make new pharma products. So my background is in formulations, nanomedicine. That was what my doctorate was in. And so, again, have an understanding of the technical problem as to what we're addressing.
Yeah.
And so can make sure that, all right, like understand from the scientist's perspective of the formulations that we're making, like exactly what the problem is. But then also, again, like having an basic understanding of engineering, but definitely of the space ecosystem and having a big network there. So again, it's like bringing in the right people to then build this system. And so I think then I'm uniquely positioned in having an understanding of the formulations from that pharma perspective, a big network in the space industry, and then bringing it together to then to execute. So, but again, because of the understanding of the science problem, it's like speaking the language of our customers and being able to communicate with them. So it's not like a space engineer then speaking to pharma to say, oh, we're doing this. It's like, no, I understand the problems. I get this, and then this is why this is a solution. So I think that also probably gives some like confidence to the customers as well, because you need to be able to always speak their language. So I think, again, well positioned in that crossing of those two sectors.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Makes sense. Oh, you don't need to convince me.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Got it. That was really good.
Woo. Right.
I need to learn. Leader.
Ready.
Leader.
Not sure if you answered this one before, but we'll see. The one single most important skill for a founder?
I think, if I look at a lot of businesses that have been founded at like pre-seed, they were like completely different businesses. Like the founder of Scale AI, wanted to, I don't know if this is true or not, but honestly, his first use case was like, I need like an AI to determine like what I need to buy in my fridge when the groceries are coming out, and then became like a 28 billion like data annotation company. So what that means is that like when you might have to at one point like pivot, and everyone says pivot, like fine, but actually the hardest thing I think is to pivot, and then the next day to be like we're not going back, and putting all that behind you, and somehow like going to bed, waking up in the morning, and be like decision is made. Although this is scary, it requires like a new strategy, a new set of customers, new go to market. New product direction. I
think that's something actually, like if people ask me, like what's the main skill? And actually I think a big one is just adapting really fast and learning quickly. Yeah. Because again, there's so much outside of your control. Ecosystems are changing so rapidly. Yeah. And it's like, all right, but have your be able to feel that very quickly and be like, all right, how does that change? And like, how does that change anything? Yeah. No, okay, we're still good. Or does this have a bigger impact? And like thinking fast. Yeah. So my turn? No, it's your turn.
Yeah, my turn. Oh my God.
The concentration.
Oh my God, this is too much.
Oh.
Oh my God. I can't do it.
You can do it.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, this is probably the worst camera shot ever.
Yes! You did it.
It's 3 cameras. Here we go.
You want to put it on the top?
Yes. Oh, no. Okay. No. The why. Okay.
This better be a good question.
The one thing all founders should train for before their roadshow.
100% your presentation, like how you present. Not the slides. Yeah. How are you talking? Yeah. And ask people like, are you get them to say to you, practice it and be like, what am I selling? Yeah. Ask them once you've pitched it. Right. See if they've understood it. What's my business? What's my business model? And if someone can't say it back to you, then you haven't explained it well enough, because they need to be able to get it and remember it within like a few minutes. Yeah. So I'd say, don't underestimate like how the way in which you say something, the power that has, and the impact that has. So, and get people to be really harsh. The more that they critique you, the better you'll be. Like, get them to rip you to shreds, and then you build up stronger.
Because I remember when you pitched to us, you know, it's super complex in theory, like space, pharma, going up there, re-entry, like the list goes on. Yet when you pitched, it was like, oh, it's super clear, the thread. But that must have, you know, once it becomes super clear, that takes so much time. Because if you start a pitch, you could go into the pharma, and then people start asking questions about pharma, and they're like focusing on the wrong thing. So like, how did you get to like the perfect thread to say we're going to bring drugs, like oncology drugs, to patients at home while going to space? And you know, it's just, how did you make it so simple? Yeah. When did it like click?
I think it took time.
Yeah.
And it was realizing, like, if you go too much down one tangent of, okay, speaking about the technology, it's like, well, that's not actually the important thing here.
Yeah.
Like, but it took time to work it out and trying different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But then, again, it was like, just go straight to the human bit first, like right at the top.
Yeah.
Like, what is the impact? What's the problem that others will feel once you've solved it, that they will feel the difference?
Yeah.
And then like start there.
Yeah.
And then there's the how.
Yeah.
But I think that, and this can be difficult for technical founders, and I'm a scientist, that's my background, so I had to really catch myself if I was going down too much of a technical route and be like, that's enough for this next conversation. Don't overwhelm it right now. Yeah. And so that's what I'd say for to technical founders is like, okay, sure, you're passionate about it, but like, wait,
okay.
just get the hook first, and then you can go into it later.
Makes
sense.
It
took time.
Takes time.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh my God.
Good luck.
You know what? This yellow one here looks pretty good. Oh, look.
No! It's on nothing.
Is it? I think it's still, the tower is still there, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Okay, you get one of your...
What do I get? A Joker card?
Yeah, you get to ask like a really tough question.
Is it a Joker card like I pick one, or is the Joker card, there's a set Joker card?
No, you can, it's really whatever you want. You can ask anything you want.
I'm going to read this because I can't remember what this one is. Okay. Is there anything that you wish founders spent more time developing in themselves? Who would you wish them to be more like, and why?
That's a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a space I worked in, so I have like a close attachment to it, but I would really like founders to focus more on how to price their products and like structure contracts and use discounting structures. And so it's like, it sounds like a niche skill, but actually once you sign, you know, you've kind of set the tone for how much you're going to charge, and other customers expect like similar price point. And usually like the pricing's an afterthought. So that's like, it's kind of it sounds like a niche skill, but actually it's like the ultimate trade with the customer, right? So that's one thing I'd be keen, and I'm keen to do it with a few of our founders as well. It's like, okay, how do we price ourselves? Because typically founders come in, they're just like, well, we're new on the block here, so we're going to charge like this much. And actually, you know, they deliver so much more value than like their competitors, even if their competitors have been around for like 30 years. So it's a little bit of the skill and like this art and science of pricing, which is like a big backbone of like, you know, commercial growth. So, you know, that would be one area. It's not like, you know, I wanted to give you an answer that was a bit more like, oh, I don't know, like how to take over the world or something. But actually, like, it's
pricing.
Pricing. Like, you know, I just figured that out.
Do founders tend to underprice?
Yeah.
Rather than like aim high and then bring it down?
Yeah. Okay. So the risk is that founders like underprice, and then you can underprice, that's fine, but you need to use like some discounting structures, which allows you to like increase your price in a year and not be stuck, right? So, but yeah, you see a lot of like underpricing. It's crazy, but it's normal because you don't have the confidence of we have like a product in market, and you have to know like how you develop different pricing tiers. I know it sounds kind of boring, but I think it's like it's so important.
Yeah. And if it sets the precedence for then the further contracts. They're like,
Yeah.
oh well, if they got that deal,
Yeah.
why can't I get that
And
deal?
the customers all kind of speak to each other.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a bit, yeah, you can anchor yourself like not in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, thank you very much, Katie.
You're so welcome.
I'm excited to work together. And yeah, see you next Monday for another Breega.
Yeah.
It's a good use of Monday morning, right?
I love it. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.